Hi everyone, hope you're all well. It's been a little while. I keep saying I must get on the case and do another video, but the longer I leave it, the harder it gets. Anyway, I did actually sit down to do a video this time last week, and Nathan had advised me to use the back camera on my phone because it's a better quality camera, but I didn't put my phone on flight mode and did the video. My ringer was switched off as well on my phone. Did the video for about 15 minutes waffling on, and then when I turned it round, the camera weren't rolling because someone had called me and it had switched off the camera. So I'm sorry for the poor quality video, but I'm using my front facing camera just so that I can check that it is filming. Anyway, today's video, I've just been reflecting on the fact that it's been about a year since I woke up. It was last January, give or take a couple of weeks, that the secretary was on my case about a report for December. So I had actually been auxiliary pioneering in November, so I had put in the 50-hour report for... No, I didn't do the 50, I did the 30 hours in November. I put in my report, but it was during that, it was right at the end of that month that the broadcast with Brother Bro saying about we will never change the 2-witness rule, that was right at the end of November that I saw that. And so I didn't do any ministry in December, and I had texted the secretary, and I basically let him know through the text that I've got some real issues with the way that the organisation is handling child abuse, and for me personally, I won't be going out there to defend them because I don't agree with the policies. And so it was no surprise to me, within about, I think it was probably the next following Saturday, he rolled up with his wife after they'd been on service. So they came in, I made tea and all that, and we had a chat, and things got very emotional on my part because I started to obviously to open up about the Australian Royal Commission, the talk from Brother Bro, and also the twisting of the scriptures that was in the Gilead graduation, sorry, that's the post, that was in the Gilead graduation video, and I was really upset about all these things. So during the course of the conversation, they were both trying to sort of encourage and get me back on track. But it was funny because at the time I was kind of awake to the fact that the organisation was hiding a lot of stuff, and it's a quick thing that you get to realise that actually it's not even God's organisation. But I don't think I'd got quite to that point. And the secretary's wife, when I started saying about all these child abuse policy issues, and obviously they both know about the issue that was going on in our own congregation with the pedophile that we had, because it was this brother who actually put forward for this guy to be recommended to be made up as a ministerial servant in our congregation. So they knew about all that stuff. And so she said, all this stuff with the Royal Commission and that, it's causing uproar up in Hull, up north. And I had heard a couple of YouTubers refer to something going on in Hull, but I wasn't really up on what was going on. Everything was kind of new to me. I hadn't watched that many videos. But she knew about all the brothers and sisters that had stopped going to the meetings, and that Mark Fox was doing the Kingdom Hall crashes and doing the YouTube videos. I hadn't got onto that yet, but as soon as she went, obviously I got on the case with that. But anyway, it really upset me that they knew all this stuff, but they were still trying to get me to go out and represent the organisation. And I just said to them, it's indefensible. You can't go out and be a representative of an organisation trying to get people or recruit people into it, when basically the policies on something as serious as child abuse are appalling. You know, I cannot represent that. And it ended up that I got quite teary about it, because obviously when it's all new to you, it's heartbreaking really, because I'd, you know, 100% I'd given my life to this stuff. And yeah, it was a very emotional day, and I don't think they quite knew what to do with me in the state that I was in. Anyway, I had to go out, and so, you know, they left. I got myself sorted out and I went out, and that afternoon Brother Green sent me a text, and you wouldn't believe it. This was his basic answer for me. He said, how about you come to our group next Saturday as an honorary member for the day, and you can work with me in the ministry, and you won't have to do any doors. I'll do all the doors. I thought to myself, what the hell? Like, did he listen to anything that I said? You know, like a cup of tea and a slice of cake at his house after going on service with him doing the doors. That'll make everything better. I can just get back on track now. It was nuts. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I can't remember. I don't think I went to any more meetings after that. I think I'd not been to a couple already. But it showed me, the thing that really got me was that it showed me that actually the elders and their wives, they do know about all this stuff. Not only did they know about the Australian Royal Commission, but actually they knew about all the apostates out there that were doing videos about it and the effects it was causing in the congregations. And that devastated me even more, because I was thinking to myself, you've got the governing body there not telling anybody about all these, you know, the court cases against them and all that sort of thing. But also you've got the elders, you know, at grassroots level, you've got the brothers and sisters in the congregations that they don't know about this stuff, and it's all being kept from them. But the elders and their wives, they know about it, and they don't say nothing. So yeah, that was quite devastating, and it made me reflect back to a conversation that I'd had with that brother in the summertime before all this had happened. So obviously, like I've mentioned in my previous videos, we did actually have a paedophile in our congregation, and they made him up as a ministerial servant, even though at the time he had an accusation of child abuse. Now, it wasn't proven, it hadn't been to court, but there was an accusation there, and I couldn't get this out of my mind. How did they make this guy up? How did he get recommended to serve as a ministerial servant with this accusation? Because the scriptures blatantly say that, you know, a man with an accusation cannot be made up. It doesn't say that if a man's been proven guilty, it says without spot, basically, free from accusation. So one Sunday after the meeting in the summer, I asked Brother Green and Brother Thomas, two elders in our hall, if I could meet with them in the back room, because that was quite a make or break for me as well. Not to do with the whole organisation, but the running of our personally our congregation. And I called them in the back room, and I said to them, listen, I want to know how it is that you guys recommended a man with an accusation of child abuse to be a ministerial servant. So, and Nathan was there with me as well. And but this was my issue. The Brother Green started shifting about on his chair, and he looked really uncomfortable. His face went like a beetroot, you know. And Brother Thomas just sort of sat there and just waited to hear me express myself. And you know, I got the scriptures up, and I was like, you know, it's got to be free from accusation, you know, but you guys must have made the recommendation even though you knew this. So I was really shocked when Brother Green said that basically he had been assigned to make an investigation into these claims, and his findings were that the claims were unsubstantiated because the dates and times didn't match. So yeah, good old Inspector Green, eh? Did his investigation. You know, the guy's been a window cleaner his whole life. You know, we've got a police force in the country. Oh, we've got detectives and, you know, all that sort of thing. We've got a court system, and all there set up to make investigations. But his investigation concluded that these claims had no basis. So that meant that, yeah, we was all right then as a congregation to have this guy serving as a ministerial servant. Yeah, they'd recommend him. Now, I was really angry, but I held it together. I let them speak, and basically the other brother, Brother Thomas, he just said to me, listen, we're really sorry. We were deceived. We made a mistake. You know, we feel bad about it. It's been sorted out now. Because what had happened was, you know, a second person had come forward, made the claim. They'd gone to the police. The guy had got arrested. You know, he'd got disfellowshipped and stuff like that. So, you know, sometimes when a person makes an apology and you feel that it's sincere, you know, you can kind of let things go, because we are all imperfect and we make mistakes. And just him giving me that apology, that just sort of alleviated my anger at the time. But Brother Green didn't make no apology, and he's the one that was the one that said, oh yeah, I made the investigation, there was no basis to it. You know, if everybody was going round and everyone that made a claim of that, you know, there'd be no one serving. So it pacified me that I'd had an apology. But that was then what started the role for me on, how do they say then that men are made up by Holy Spirit? How is it that brothers are appointed by Holy Spirit? And so during those months, you know, I was pondering those things. But that was the reason why come November I put my form into Auxiliary Pioneer, because I really wanted to just get back on track. I wanted to clear my mind of this stuff. I just wanted to get back in a good place. But as it was, the culmination of all of this was that I found out the truth about the truth, and I left it. Those questions I had about men being appointed by Holy Spirit during the time that I'd stopped going to the meetings and weren't going on service, and the time that I disassociated, a lot of the elders came and saw us, and the wives and different brothers and sisters. But it was funny because the different elders had different reasonings on how it is that the governing body can teach that men are made up by Holy Spirit. So one brother said to me, this was Brother Gates, he said to me that no, you've got to remember that the Bible teaches that even an appointed man can turn bad. You know, we've all got free will. But when I asked him, well, what about when a man has been bad before he's been made up and he still gets made up? He didn't have an answer. And when I asked the same thing to Brother Peyton, he said to me, now I don't know where he found this from in the literature, or if this was just his own personal thoughts, but he said to me, it's kind of established that you don't actually know whether a person has been appointed by Holy Spirit or not unless a period of time of them serving as an elder has gone by, and then in time it will be manifest. Now for me, I know that that's not what the society teaches. They teach that the appointments are by Holy Spirit. So yeah, the whole thing is just, when I look back now, the whole thing is just a shambles. I'm glad I'm out. It's been a tumultuous year of lots of ups and downs. But But yeah, that's just some of the things I've been thinking about. You know, I don't regret for a minute the fact that I got out of there, that I disassociated myself, and I found it very therapeutic doing the car crashes, doing the videos, having the feedback from you guys. So I'd just like to mention as well, I've just reached 1,000 subscribers. I'm really grateful to everybody that subscribed to my channel, and yeah, I can only say thank you for your support, and thank you for your comments, thank you for watching, and I send my love out to everybody as usual.